how great it would be to finally get the job of your dreams after going through a lot of tough interviews and putting in a lot of time to prepare. The chance to work for Google, which many people think is the best firm in the world, is better than any other job. You have come to the location where new ideas never stop coming, where the smartest people of your time meet, and where the benefits seem to be almost too good to be true. Most people think that a paradise for a job is one where you can get free gourmet meals, massages on site, yoga classes, dog-friendly workplaces, shuttles with Wi-Fi, and lots of time off. The similar feeling happens when you first see it. The food served in the cafeterias is better than the food served in most eateries. It is possible to have sushi for lunch, go to the gym in the afternoon, and then take a shuttle home while also answering emails on high-speed internet. You can do all of these things at the same time. Because your parents are so proud of you, your LinkedIn profile is full of messages of congratulations, and for a short time, you think you've achieved the top of your career. After that, something that isn't familiar happens. At this point, you haven't been here in a little over a year. The event in question is not a one-time thing. It shows a pattern. The average American works for more than 4 years, yet the average Google employee only works for a little over a year. This is shorter than the length of time that a gym membership lasts, the length of time that many love relationships last, and even the length of time that some new tech companies have been on the market. As a firm that has been named the best place to work year after year, the question that comes to mind is, why can't Google keep its employees? There is a part of the answer that can be found in the things that Google does that seem interesting. For example, the benefits seem to be a made-up story. On the other hand, it's harder to understand the reality that lies beneath their shiny surface. Dinner, which is famous for being free, is served at 6 o'clock in the evening. You suddenly find yourself working late into the night after dinner. This turn of events is surprising to you. If the company's shuttle service has Wi-Fi, your trip will easily turn into 2 additional hours of work. But the company's shuttle service will take the stress out of driving for you. Even organizations that allow dogs, which are policies meant to make employees happy, might take away one of the last natural reasons for employees to leave work at the end of the day. This is done by telling workers to bring their pets to work. As time goes on, the benefits start to look less like gifts and more like prods that have been carefully designed to keep you interested in your job. But it's crucial to remember that incentives aren't the sole reason individuals quit. Google has a work culture that is like a pressure cooker that is full of stress. The time limits are really strict, the goals are very high, and the stakes are pretty significant. These items are all very crucial. People who work there say that the atmosphere is one of perpetual stress, where you're always slipping behind and fighting against the clock without ever getting back to where you were before. According to the rules, you can take as much vacation time as you like and work whenever you want. A lot of people actually think they are to fault for becoming hooked on drugs. If your teammates are working late, it could seem like you're slacking off if you go to the gym or take a break in the afternoon. This is because your teammates are still working. The fact that people don't use well-being perks like meditation rooms or treatment covers as much as they should is not because they aren't available, it's because they don't have enough time to use them. Even though the corporation is recognized for making fun and exciting environments, its workers often say they are tired and worn out. Because of this, the subject of competition comes up. Getting a job at Google is far harder than getting into Harvard. In fact, the evidence shows that it is about 20 times harder. When you get there, you'll be surrounded by people who are just as smart, driven, and hungry as you are. This means that people around you will be like you. Being in a room with so many smart people at first feels like an amazing experience. That said, it might get stuffy pretty quickly. It looks like you've suddenly lost your standing as the smart person who sticks out. You are only one of an endless number of other people. There is a competition between your ideas and theirs, and your performance reviews are compared to theirs. They also look at your goals to see how well they match up with theirs. Some people can grow because of this stress. Some people are silently frustrated because no matter how hard they work, they will always be in someone else's shadow. This is true no matter how hard they try. This is why they think they are not being watched. Even if workers have overcome that hurdle, they will soon have to deal with politicians, which is another challenge. Even if Google says in its marketing materials that it is a meritocracy, it is still a big company. People who come up with the most creative ideas aren't always the ones that get promoted for their job. People who know how to work the system, who know how to please the right people, and who know how to set themselves up for praise are usually the ones who ask for help through the system. Some former employees have talked about how they gave everything they had to the company, only to see their chances of getting promoted slip away because of certain internal moves. They have talked about how they gave up everything they had. When a company says it is a safe place for pure creativity and performance, the kind of reality that can be disappointing for that company is the one that was mentioned above. People leave the area because of this, but they don't leave empty-handed. The difficulty is that when they leave, they get stronger, hungrier, and more ambitious. Some people utilize Google as a place to start their own profitable businesses. After leaving Google, some of its former employees have started new businesses. These new enterprises make productivity apps, health platforms, and search engines that are meant to compete directly with the company they used to work for. When they decide to work for a rival IT company, their recruiters are happy to offer them higher pay and more important titles once they have made the transfer. It's a big deal to work at Google for even 1 year in Silicon Valley, where people change jobs so often. The high turnover rate in the industry is to blame. Including it on your CV will open up new doors for you. There is a good chance that this is true. First of all, Google is not a place to go. It's a place to start. It draws in people who want to make a difference in the world and gives them a crash course in how to run a large business. Then, it sends them back out into the world, where they have the experience and prestige that makes them almost impossible to resist for the rest of the business. Maybe, if you look at it this way, the problem Google is having with keeping employees isn't really a problem at all. This might be because it costs too much to hire people who are too anxious, too motivated, and too ambitious to stay in one place for long. If this is the case, would it be good to work for Google? Without a doubt, most folks. A name like that can take a career to much higher levels. The things you do, the people you work with, and the projects you work on are all very important. On the other hand, the real value of working at Google is probably not related to how long you work there. Everything is going to happen after you depart. The free lunches and ping-pong tables at Google won't change the course of your career. Instead, it's the possibilities that come up after you leave Google that could change the course of your professional life. To make matters worse, this is probably the paradox. The very place that gives you paradise was never meant to keep you. It was made to help you get ahead. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.